Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Your patron saint of best ball, Liam Murphy, back to talk all things best ball tonight. Let's get the comments on. We're going to be going through the top scores of the past week, maybe on the season. We're going to be talking some best ball, inside best ball. We'll look at some of my bags. I don't know. We'll riff for a while. We do this every Wednesday. It's my birthday tomorrow, so fun fact. Anyways, let's kick it off with the top scores of the week, courtesy of Fantasy Pros. I'm sure that you could look at this anywhere, but we're using Fantasy Pros because it's easy to look at. So, quarterback, using their scoring, which is like pretty uniform scoring for quarterback, unless your site rewards a little bit more for passing yards. Dak Prescott in the crazy overtime game, 31 points, kicks it off. Great thing about Dak, terrible defense, good offense. We love that recipe. Matthew Stafford, a guy I quite liked this past week, played him a lot. Wrote him up for my rankings too. Wrote him up. Don't know what else we said there. But what did I say? I said Matthew Stafford, not drafted a lot. I like him. We had a lot of shots on goal, but nothing came together. What did I write here? I said the Bills, Shakir and Keon. Shakir did score a touchdown, but like other guys smashed. Trayvon Henderson, he got a touchdown, but wasn't good enough. I like the 3 elite quarterbacks. That kind of flopped with Lamar getting benched. Hurts was good, though. I value the elite wide receivers far more than Derrick Henry and co. That smashed, right? Like you needed to have him on Raw. I'm not going to count Puka. He was more expensive. Lad, we'll talk about Lad, but I just think he's hurt. And then mentioned Drake London. He had a good game. I like the spot for Matthew Stafford. So, very low owned Matt Stafford for Battle Royales and DFS land. People just don't view him as a ceiling. And yeah, he's got to throw a lot of touchdowns, but he can do that. And I think Matthew Stafford is being viewed like he still plays with Cooper Kupp. He doesn't. He plays with Devontae Adams, who is getting like all the red zone targets. Mahomes, and I don't have a ton of Mahomes, but I could see Mahomes had Worthy back in the lineup and is going to get Rashee Rice back eventually. So he's definitely attempting more downfield throws this year and could be back to some fantasy goodness there. Justin Fields. Yeah, I mean, man, I got Justin Fields in a lot of managed leagues. He's a terrible quarterback. I do think he will not make it for the full season as someone who drafted some. Maybe he does, but they're 0-4, man. And I don't think he'll be a starter next year. But what I do think is against the bad defenses, which includes this week, he gets the Cowboys. Like, look, he can run for 50-yard touchdowns. Bo Nix, he played the Bengals. I don't think Bo Nix is that good, but he's fine for fantasy. Jordan Love, again, the overtime game. Josh Allen. Josh Allen did score a rushing touchdown this game, and they were kind of like pressed by the Saints a little bit, so had to keep it up. Drake May just seems legit good. Carson Wentz, no. He's going to get benched, I think, when McCarthy is able to return. Baker, now we're getting to lower scores. Jackson Dart's an interesting one. I have him in some managed leagues, some high-stakes managed leagues, and it's like, I'm not too optimistic on him. I think it's fine for best ball. He did run a lot, but he had like all of 100 yards passing. That's not going to cut it. And then Michael Penix back from the dead. Pretty nice there. Oh, no, Hurts did not have a good game this week. That was the week before. Running backs, let's sort this to half-point PPR. Ashton Jeanty. You love to see that, right? Ashton Jeanty left for dead. Had 2 catches on the game, 2 touchdowns. Maybe they should throw the ball more to him. One of their O-linemen got hurt, though, and the Bears' defense is pretty bad, so he's probably going to need some good matchups. Josh Jacobs had a great matchup overtime game, but led the way in receiving for them. Kenneth Gainwell looked legit good. I've not done my waivers yet. I'm going to do it after the stream, but where I can, I want Gainwell. I think it was sharp for the people who picked him up. It certainly seems like Caleb Johnson is not a thing, and they trusted him a lot. They threw him the ball a lot, and he looked impressive. It wasn't just the box score. He legit looked good. So I don't know how severe Jaylen Warren's injury is. I'm optimistic because they have a week 5 bye that they were just being cautious, but that's a guess by me. Justice Hill, yeah, this is a byproduct of obviously the Ravens being bad, and this is the rub on Derrick Henry, folks. If the Ravens don't have positive game scripts, goodbye to Derrick Henry points. He literally will not be on the field when they're trailing by 10. Bijan, he's doing this without many touchdowns, so when he gets the touchdown smash, Woody Marks, every fantasy analyst in the world was like, oh, pick up Woody Marks. Nick Chubb's a 0. We got that one right. I think another signal on Woody Marks, which I thought about a lot, but didn't necessarily act a ton on, is the Texans gave up future draft picks for them. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was they traded away a future third to get him. And so all the people that watch college ball, they're like, oh, he sucks. He doesn't do this, doesn't do that. But the fact that they gave up future draft capital and we learned Joe Mixon was a 0 should have been a positive indication for Woody Marks. I don't think Woody Marks will do this every game. They played the Titans, but yeah, very encouraging game. Omarion Hampton, only 12 rushing attempts. Everyone's hurt for the Chargers O-line. Man, let me read one of these quotes from Justin Herbert. This is what he had to tell the new offensive line starters and members of the roster/practice squad. Just go out there and execute and do what you've been trained to do. Do what you're taught. They're playmakers too. They're guys that have seen big football games, guys that have played in national championships, huge games like that. So maybe it's new to them, the NFL. What? But they played in big football games before. So I guess the Chargers are signing guys off the street who have not seen NFL action. That's rough for the whole offense. We're not going to lie. CMC, yeah, I don't have a ton of CMC. Liked the elite wide receivers more. And he's not an efficient runner, but he's doing this without touchdowns. So CMC, like Puka, in the weeks they score touchdowns, smash. Bucky Irving. So I co-managed with Jacob, and he's like, I can't believe that Bucky Irving did that after getting hurt. Drugs, man. They had him drugged up. He had that big catch. He was on crutches. So, yeah, I don't know how much they're downplaying the severity, but crutches sounds bad to me. James Cook, he was used a lot, honestly. Could have had another touchdown where Josh could have thrown it to him, but they have talked a little bit about getting someone else involved. Smash. Judkins is looking like a huge league winner, and he did this in a game script where they got destroyed. So if Dylan Gabriel is good at all, to the moon with Judkins. Travis Etienne, another guy who's looking great, just was hurt last year. A miss for me there. I do have some, but yeah. Puka, again, weeks that Puka scores touchdowns, absolute smash. I don't think George Pickens is going to do this every game, but we'll want to monitor and see there. They did move him around a little bit more this game. Romeo Doubs, yeah, no. I mean, Romeo Doubs had 3 1-yard touchdowns. Amon-Ra had 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf, they talked about moving him around. Pretty encouraged. I was not out on DK Metcalf. Drake London continues to smash in games without Darnell Mooney. Quentin Johnston, I guess we'll talk about Ladd here. I have a league. We'll just pull up the league, man. High stakes league. And I lost Aaron Jones, so we're rolling out Gibbs and Tootin right now. But my wide receivers right now are Marvin, Debo, Tet, and Ladd. And then my bench is Addison and QJ and Dobbs. So swung and missed and played Ladd and lost because of it. But I think I just need to do it. I think I need to bench Ladd this week. I still believe in Ladd long term. It's almost like a motivation thing. I do think the biceps injury is impacting him. And he's still getting, though, 6 targets, 7 targets. So it's got to get better. But maybe Addison, QJ, got to play one of these guys. Probably QJ. He's the wide receiver 4. And just see what do you got, Lad? Maybe, I'd be happy to bench Lad for QJ and Lad to have a big game. I still believe in Lad, but it's not great right now, folks. Kind of that whole, like, a bunch of expensive wide receivers are kind of busting right now. T. Higgins, it's not his fault, but yeah, when your quarterback gets hurt, that's going to hurt you. Brian Thomas Jr., that one's a weird one. I don't really know what to say there. And people are beating themselves up about QJ. I am a little bit too, because I was very in on the Chargers. But, anomalies exist, folks. Like, okay, he showed improvement last year. However, let's look at what the team did. They drafted 2 guys. They drafted a guy in the 2nd round. They signed Keenan Allen. These aren't exactly votes of confidence in Quentin Johnston, despite what the coach speak was. So could I have just ignored all that and gone, la, 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 he's an 18th round pick right now? Yes. And I think I was stubborn not to draft some of him. I do have some, but like a little bit more than I have, like 4 teams in BBM. But yeah, is what it is. Looks good. How good is he? I don't know, because I'm not, I don't think QJ's a wide receiver for the rest of the season. I do think he looks good. He plays with Justin Herbert. I will remind folks that at this time last year, Jaden Reed was the wide receiver 4, and Jaden Reed was a 2nd round pick in best ball resurrection drafts. That one did not turn out well, right? So a reminder that the season is long, and it's quite likely that QJ is not going to score a touchdown every single week of football. And when he doesn't, he'll be closer to like 8 to 10 points. People can run hot for 4 weeks, but I don't know. I'm leaving the door open that he is just the best wide receiver on the team. I personally think it's Lad, but we'll see there. Emeka Egbuka. Now, this is a guy I did draft a lot when he was cheap. However, again, I do think he's a little bit of a negative regression candidate. I don't want to trade him away, but like, he got kind of lucky to score this touchdown where the ball went between 2 defenders' hands. # watch the games. And Mike Evans will return eventually. And Chris Godwin's just got 10 targets. So I like Emeka Egbuka, the talent. I drafted a lot of him, especially when he was around 10, 9, 8 guy. But I personally think he's going to regress a little bit. Jefferson, this one's hard to say. With Wentz, I think he'll be spammed with targets. Is JJ McCarthy capable of doing that? I don't know. Marvin Mims, honestly, Mims could have been here a couple times. He's a boom bust guy, but seemingly like a good pick. Garrett Wilson could have had another touchdown. I was not too into Garrett Wilson. I'm not into Fields the passer, but the team is bad and they're going to be trailing a lot, and they were playing the Dolphins secondary, so he'll be like the DJ Moore that year. Some booms, some busts. He was a 2-3 turn guy for most of the year, right? Like, you'd rather have James Cook. You'd rather have, honestly, he's paying off cost a little bit, but I'm not too upset about not having Garrett Wilson. I'd rather have the Chiefs guys than him. Debo, another one that's a little tough to say, with the Terry injury and Jaden Daniels returning, but like, he's paying off strongly to date. A reminder that the season is long, What a list at tight end here. Dallas Goedert got like 2 shuffle pass touchdowns. Didn't practice again today. Darren Waller, Darren Waller off the street, 2 touchdowns. I don't know, folks. I don't think that Darren Waller is going to do this week in, week out. We did see Jonnu Smith be awesome. They're not the same athletes, right? Like, Jonnu is this like spam the ball yard after catch guy. Darren Waller seems to run more like real routes to me. But I'm open to be wrong there. And Tyreek Hill just got hurt. So kind of want to just monitor him. Obviously, in managed leagues, you're picking him up. Tyler Warren, good at football. But, it's tight end. So it's like, even though he's great, 16 points, whatever. Kyle Pitts, very encouraging for him. No Darnell Mooney, going to impact that. Jake Ferguson has been a PPR dream and half-point PPR, honestly. I liked him quite a bit, but yeah, he's benefiting from the Lamb injury. Jake Tongus will go to 0 once Kittle's back. Tommy Tremble, no. Hunter Henry has been it's a great pick, but like again, it's 11 points. It's tight end. AJ Barner. I kind of drafted some AJ Barner. I had him ranked ahead of Arroyo, but that could go wrong. They're running a ton of 12 personnel. I don't even know who Mitchell Evans is. Hunter Long is like the Jags backup. Kincaid got caught one single ball for touchdown, and that's what it takes to be tight end 12. He looks a lot better. Let's see. Yeah, Turpin doesn't look like he'll play, but I don't know. I have 20% Puka on underdog, and I have like 11% on underdog, or 20% on DK and 11% on underdog. The reason is like, although I had Puka ranked at number 7 for almost the whole draft cycle until the very end, like the last week or so, you could get Puka in the second round. And once you could do that, I decided that was the most valuable thing in best ball. So like I don't know. Let's just look at some Puka teams. And I don't know if there's a way to see, like this team is a Puka CMC team. I drafted this on stream. And it's going to carry Aaron Jones and Jalen Warren and Zach Charbonnet and Tajay Spears right now. Right. So a reminder that the season is long, right? Like so something to look for. I pulled this earlier for myself, and you can pull it for yourself as well. But you can check out your like non-rostered players and look at your exposure. So my injuries have been, like bad and good. Good in the sense that I don't have a ton of the guys who are out for the year. And that, what I would mean is like Malik Neighbors. Obviously, that's one of the ones that hurts the most. James Conner, Tyreek, I had 13 teams. What I do have a ton of, though, is the guys who have missed several weeks and or 1 week. So like I had a lot of Purdy. I have a lot of Aaron Jones. I have a lot of Mike Evans. I have a lot of Kittle. I have a lot of Jalen Warren. I have a lot of Jaden Daniels. I have a lot of Loveland. I have a lot of Tillman, who's going to miss time now. And so that's why I'm personally encouraged that, like, okay, I'm at 28 teams. I have drafted one of the best guys in fantasy football, which is James Cook, who's definitely carrying me. Of my 28, I'm going to guess Cook is on a ton of them. 17 of them. But, it's like what you can look at here is to see how are you doing without the guys, is you can add some of these guys who are hurt. A big one for me is like Jaden Reed, I personally think is going to be out for probably the whole year. I know people don't think that's going to happen. Look, I have a ton of Jaden Reed. I don't want him to be out for the whole year. It's just kind of what I think. But like if I add some of these guys that are hurt and some of my bigger stands, and we won't count like Tillman because he just got hurt. Really, the big ones for like the ones that hurt the most are obviously like the Mike Evans, George Kittle, because they were expensive picks. So it's like, okay, I had 68 teams without one of the injured guys. Not doing that great, 24%, but you can do this for yourself. Some of the injured guys out for the year, if you're curious how it's impacting me, James Conner, 11 teams, Neighbors, 9 teams, Jaden Reed. This one hurts because I think Jaden Reed would have been a smash. 25 teams. Who else is hurt, guys? Kittle. Again, he's going to return. And best ball is a funny game where the Kittles of the world, the Mike Evans of the world, okay, these are not great right now for us. But the ones who are going to return, Aaron Jones, Kittle, all these guys, if you can get these guys to the playoffs, well, they're inherently going to be less owned, and they could absolutely be more unique, or they will be more unique, and maybe you win the contest because of that. Aaron Jones, Mike Evans, non-rostered. Make sure you type in your username, otherwise it's going to search every team in the contest. Like Mike Evans, I'm kind of encouraged that I have some Mike Evans teams advancing because he's going to return. Rice, I have one Rice team doing well. Most of my Rice teams are expensive. One's advancing, and like some of them are like the gap's getting kind of big, guys. Godwin is back, you know. Godwin's back right now. But yeah, I cooled off drafting him later. Most of my Godwin teams were early, so it's expensive. How severe is Lamar's fake hamstring? I think he's definitely missing a week or two. So it's real. I was wrong on that. Lamb is one. I had Lamb as the 102. So yeah, 1 of 17. And Lamb is a clear case of like, dude, once this guy is healthy, look at the Cowboys. This is a smash. Like Jamar Chase is kind of dead, you know? It is what it is. But yeah, it's a year that's getting defined by injuries right now. Mooney. Yeah, the Mooney one, I think the Mooney one is not as serious, and we're drawing lucky that Mooney missed a week already, right? Which matters on a 4-week sample. And Mooney has a bye this week, so Mooney might just not miss any. Taysom Hill practice, guys. I didn't think this was realistic. Otherwise, I would have drafted a lot of him. But yeah, he practiced today, which is crazy. Looking at my top teams, this is my best team right now. It's in 2,600th place. Scored 569. It is a Lamar McCarthy team, so it will have no quarterbacks this week, which honestly, okay, am I going to win the regular season prize? No, but it has a 73-point gap on not advancing, and you want that. Someone in the Discord asked, like, hey, like a lot of my teams, like they're not top 200 in the contest. And again, best ball's a funny game. Like you almost inherently would prefer a team is in second and or barely makes the playoffs, assuming the roster is healthy, right? Like you never want dead roster spots, but assuming you have a healthy roster, which obviously less points just correlates with not a healthy roster, but assuming you do, you would want your team to sneak into the playoffs because a lower scoring team, assuming health, correlates with more uniqueness, if that makes sense. What's interesting about my portfolio as someone who's drafted throughout the summer is I like to see where it's like, okay, one of my best teams is an August team. My second best team is a May team. My fourth best team is a July team, another May team, another June team. I'm personally excited about some of these early drafted teams because they're just going to be a little bit different than the player pool. Like what's going on in this May team? Josh Allen and Baker. This was drafted. This was drafted schedule release date. The same thing. I put a team into the finals last year. So let's see. Josh Allen and Mayfield. Achan Chuba. It looks like Chuba's going to miss at least a week. Expensive Judkins. And then 2 zeros. Braylon is on IR. Puka JSN. Okay. That's good. 8th round Ibuka. Like that stuff excites me. 8th round Ibuka. 17th round Dobbins. 18th round Keenan. You know? That's the stuff that I like. Which I'm sure some of these good teams of mine have as well. Like I stopped drafting Keenan and Dobbins when they got expensive. This is how I like to approach the game for the most part. So let's see. This one was a 16th round Keenan. And who did I have? I guess, so I have Kirk. I have Cooper Kupp. I have Jake Ferguson. And I have Drake May where others may not. So, not all those guys you want. This was another team with 16th round Keenan. This one I actually did draft Keenan. Okay, he went up to the 10th round. This is a May team with 15th round Keenan. He was more expensive in May. And yeah, how about Dobbins? Most of my, okay, no, this is all my teams. I was like 28 Dobbins teams? No way. Again, I don't have a lot of Dobbins. Despite that being a huge win for my ranks, it just has to do with like how many teams I drafted. You can see most of my Dobbins teams are in May. And so like this is 16th round Dobbins. with 15th round Keenan. Like, that's an exciting team to me. Mayfield, Goff, Gibbs, Achane, Tajay Spears, Tank, J.K. Dobbins, Blake Corum. I was always team Blake Corum over Jarquez Hunter. Mike Evans. Okay. So we're dragging Mike Evans right now. Devonta Smith. We're also dragging Addison. So, like, that's exciting. Like, it's not going to win the regular season prize. Who cares? But we're dragging low-owned Mike Evans. We're dragging low-owned Addison because of the Dobbins Keenan value. This is what I'm talking about, how early drafted teams can return value in ways you don't realize. Olave, Shakir, Romeo Dobbs, Ray McLeod. At least he's on a roster. Jonnu Smith in the 8th round. That's an example of bad CLV from drafting early, but obviously pays off the Keenan Dobbins combo. Kincaid, tight end 3. Another team with round 17 Dobbins, and it has Harvey too, which is like, that's not the bad thing. Unfortunately, it's got Joe Burrow, and it has Neighbors. So yeah, this is not an exciting team. It has Neighbors, it has Jaden Reed. I don't know how this team is advancing. It has Chase Brown, it has Joe Burrow, right? This is a team where you look at and it's like, okay, no, this team is bad. Amari Cooper, I did draft a little bit in the Eliminator too, but not as much. I didn't feel as good about Amari Cooper because he was actually bad. I drafted 2 teams with him. So, is what it is. I also, who else I drafted? Mike Williams. Twice. So, and I also drafted some Zach Moss, twice. So, not a ton of these guys. A little sprinkling. Yeah, James Cook is... Who's the guy who's carrying you guys? James Cook is carrying me right now. Literally 17 of my teams have him that are advancing. And James Cook is not going to be unique for the playoffs, guys. He is smashing. I don't even know, Preston. I have 20% Puka and 20% Cook in DK, and I'm still only advancing like 31 teams there. I'm crushing it in the 5-5-5 right now, but again, it's week 4. Things change quick. Let's look at another team or two of mine. Josh Allen and Justin Fields. That is fun because that's how I won BBM too, so I made sure to do some of these. I'm not convinced Fields is playing in the playoffs. So what's fun about this is I just think the Bills-Eagles game is so live to be the game you have to have. Like, can't you guys see that game with the Bills defense not looking world beaters? Like, this game could be a game that goes like 40-45. So it's got Josh Allen. It's got Saquon. The Bills are very suspect on the run right now. It's got A.J. Brown, who will be low-owned. Ken Walker. Man, Pacheco, dude. Get your life together, Pacheco. Brian Robinson, Javonte. We ate our vegetables. It's paying off. A.J. Brown, Jameson, Debo, Keon, Shaheed, Pat Bryant, Yoshi Voss, Trey Tucker. So not everyone's a hit, but we got Trey Tucker. And then kick-ass tight end room, honestly. Kincaid, Henry, Ertz. This game feels good to me, too. Let's look at the Week 17 games, guys. If you were drafting the Week 17 games today with what you know, and let's assume health of quarterbacks, how do you rank them? I'm going to give you my top 5 with what I know right now. Because going into the season, and I'm going to assume also that the weather is not a factor for any game. Okay. We're just assuming that. Obviously, you can't be sure of that. I'm going to put Bills-Eagles 1. I'm going to do it. 2 4-0 teams. Could be a huge game. And when we've seen these, typically what you see is like when elite quarterbacks meet, games are fun. Let's see. I'm going to put Cowboys Commanders 2. Jaden Daniels, Dak, 2 defenses that are either bad or not great. Honestly, Packers, Ravens, I don't know if the Ravens can keep up. So we're not penciling that one in yet. I was worried that the Vikings defense was very good, but seeing them get destroyed by the Steelers is elevating this game again. This was like my 101 going into the year. This Bucks Dolphins game, it's going to have good weather. Rams Falcons, I don't know about the Falcons side. I think we got to do Lions Vikings. We're going to do Lions Vikings. It's in a dome. The Vikings defense is good, but so is the Lions offense. I think, obviously Tua could be benched, but I think I'm going to put Bucks Dolphins 4. Now, this is a game that is kind of sneaky, this Bears-Niners game, because both defenses are not looking that great. So I wasn't so high into this game going into the year. Like the Jags defense is looking better. So this kind of lowers this game to me. I like the Rams side, but again, I don't know what the Falcons are right now. Like the Seahawks feel like they just beat down the Panthers. Like there's beat down games, But yeah, some semblance of like Bills, Eagles, Lions, Vikings, Cowboys, Commanders, Bucks, Dolphins, and then call it Bears, Niners. I think. Shut up, Joey. Give me the Dylan Gabriel to Isaiah Bond and Fannin stack with DK Metcalf and Kenneth Gainwell. Well, what's going to happen, Jay, is, again, there's a lot of time here, but let's assume Stafford's healthy. Let's assume Puka's healthy. As things go today, Puka will be probably like a 50% advance rate player. So it doesn't really matter what he does in the playoffs. He's going to be chalk in week 17 if that's the case, which means that, don't count your chickens. You're going to need to fade this game or that game will win you the contest, Yeah, but I don't know who Hames. Come on now. Pats Jets, that's getting cute. Okay, this game sucks. Saints Titans. This game sucks now. Cardinals Bengals. Like maybe the Cardinals score. Raiders Giants. This game could be fun bad. Maybe the AFC guys is weird. Who's going to be the 7th seed if it's not the Ravens? Chiefs Broncos. That game always kind of seemed to me like it'd be low scoring, but you never know. I like the Packers offense. The Packers defense is good though, but the Cowboys just dropped 40, so maybe Ravens Packers, Texans Chargers. It's Broncos Chiefs to me. Seahawks beat down Panthers. Pats probably beat down Jets or just win. Steelers Browns, And then Rams Falcons. It'll be like a 24-17 game, So I would not drop Loveland, but I would want Michael Carter. I don't want to drop Loveland because Cole Kmet was an abject disaster this past week, and I think Loveland's still going to be a hit. So I don't want to drop that. But Michael Carter is going to be the starting running back for the time being. Hey, man. Appreciate that. You didn't need to do that, but thank you for the super chat. Cheers to you. I helped buy some kids some basketball shoes, so rebates me for that. The kid couldn't afford basketball shoes. We have an awesome PE coach at my school. Guy is just so kind. And he's like, hey guys, can we help chip in? I was like, yes, dude, I'm happy to help chip in for the basketball shoes. A reminder that people got bigger things going on in the world than best ball. I know people can feel sad about their best ball bags, with injuries. That stinks. Okay. So whatever, let's look at it. Let's look at the down bads. This, this could be any of us, guys. Malik Neighbors, look away. This is going to be squeamish. Oh, no, we got to go to exposures. Do you think Jaden Reed could still be a factor? B, I dropped him. I did drop him in managed, okay? I dropped him in managed because I don't. I just don't think we're going to know. So tough break for Ingelux if you're watching. This is, you risk it, you biscuit. But Like, B, I drafted a ton of Jaden Reed everywhere. And I don't see it. Like, he broke the collarbone or whatever. And then he had the surgery for the feet, which is supposed to be longer. And I don't know. Maybe for the playoffs, it's just like by that time, what's he going to be in? Some like gross four wide receiver rotation. So like, if he is, great, B. If he is, great for our best ball bags. But like, I don't know. It stinks, B. I think he would have been great. Something I did want to look at, and I don't want to pick on the Wizard, but this guy advanced 72 teams last year, and I think it's a lesson for best ball because he's a big stand guy. So he's having a so-so year this year, 19 out of 150. That doesn't matter. Like, that's what I advance. But the reason is, and this is kind of like what I was saying about the, like, you know, if you're going to be a big stand bro, you're going to have good years. But when you draft like this, 132 teams, 89 Palmer teams, 81 Tracy teams, 81 Swift teams, 79 Jennings teams. Like, I don't know this guy. 61 CMC teams. So he got some things right? Like, he has 61 CMC teams, which, by the way, is like probably the riskiest thing you could do. He drafted 61 of a first round pick. That's crazy. 57 Tyreek teams. Unlucky there. When you do this, you open yourself up to mega downside. And like, my take here is like, he advanced a lot of teams. He thought he was like the best player ever. And it's like, that's just why over the years, I've smoothed out my exposures a little bit. Just like a maturing process. Right? So it's like, he's got some good stands in here, I'm sure. James Cook, 33 teams. But yeah, like, this can hurt you when you're not drafting the best players in fantasy. He is like Gritty. No, him and Gritty are very similar. Gritty's obviously having a good year. So you can see my exposures. We'll just run through them. Cook, awesome. Kincaid is going awesome. Keon had one good game, which is kind of like fine for his price. But Keon also looks better. You just got to get the Bills pressed, though. Jonnu is not paying off, but some of it was cheap. The August stuff was cheap, at least. Loveland has been a 0, but I'm actually kind of excited for the future of that. Tillman, I think, has paid off cost already. He's given you like 2 to 3 usable weeks, but now he's going to miss 4 weeks, and who knows what he is by the time he returns, and Isaiah Bond's in there and Dylan Gabriel's in there. Jalen Warren is awesome. Travis Hunter is not paying off, but it's like it's sub 20%. So it's 2x the field. I don't have 60 Hunter teams. And, it's easy to be like, oh, man, I wish I had 100 Cook teams. No, I don't. I don't wish I had 100 Cook teams. Would I be advancing more? And would people be like, oh, look how smart that guy is. He's advancing so many teams. Yes. But I don't truly believe it's how you win. I don't think the way you win is by slamming a 4th round pick. Even if I was taking 100% Cook in the 4-5, but I was not taking 100% Cook in the 3rd, right? I wanted some different players, and it saves you a little bit when Jaden Reed misses time, Aaron Jones misses time, Mike Evans misses time. You draft Isaac Garendo, and then Brian Robinson gets traded there, right? Like, the NFL is crazy. Jalen Wright, like, that one is going to 0. Slayton might pay off, right? Kupp is not doing so well. Kittle misses time, Nico's been like fine, but not good enough for the price. Ladd has been a disappointment. Like, you can save yourself when you spread it out a little bit. I'm not a spread out for everyone, and I'm big on fading, and I have mostly good fades, but I do have some bad fades too. Like Calvin Ridley, I don't have any. Who else is a bad player, guys? Help me out with some bad players. Who are some bad players? We're not counting injuries. No. DeMarcado is mostly the 3rd down back, probably. And Michael Carter will be the other guy. Caleb Johnson. I have no Caleb Johnson. That one's helping. I've always been a AJ Brown guy, and he's not a fade to me because he's a better and best ball guy, and I think the Week 17 matchup's good for him. So I didn't fade him, but like this year, I've tempered it down for him. Evan Ingram was a good fade of mine. 6 teams. Joe Mixon was a good fade. Yeah, Javonte is a bad fade right now. Quentin Johnston is a bad fade. So I'm not perfect. I would say that like the QJ Javonte ones feel a little a little surprising. Pacheco, I didn't fade, but I didn't chase up as much. I was at market there. Tyler Warren, I don't really feel like this was a bad fade when he was around 9-10 cost, but like tight ends don't matter. I don't think it was a bad fade when he went up to round 8. He looks awesome. He's a tight end, you know? And it's not like I don't have other tight ends doing things. Brian Thomas Jr. I have 16 teams, so I liked him. But like I liked all the elite wide receivers. I liked Puka the most. I didn't end up with the most because again, I was trying to get him in round 2. Jonathan Taylor, I'm not going to fade Jonathan Taylor. I literally wrote him up as a good pick, and he's a brand guy. You got to stay loyal to your brand guys. Am I more worried about Brian Thomas Jr. or Nico? Honestly, neither. Judkins is a guy who I didn't like slam, but I wasn't against. 10 teams. Alvin Kamara. I don't think I faded Alvin. I liked him somewhat. And best ball is a funny game, guys. Alvin, Brees, these guys could get traded to really good spots, I think it's less likely Brees gets traded with Braylon Allen hurt. That's another thing I didn't do. I approached the market as the market. So like I'm not taking Braylon Allen when he goes from an 18th round pick to an 8th round pick, a 10th round pick. So obviously you kind of wish you did that with Keenan and Dobbins right now, but I just don't think it's good game theory wise. Dylan Sampson is a player. Yeah, I was not taking too much. Jerry Jeudy. I actually did take some Jeudy, but soft fade. I don't know how much Woody Marks I have. Honestly, I have no idea. 8 teams. Wish I had more there. He's a better in best ball, man. Like, no one should be surprised that the Eagles are winning games and not passing for 300 yards a game. It is what it is. Let's look at my eliminator teams. Finally, I only have 13 teams. Again, for anyone who saw my usage stream yesterday, got a little unlucky on my Puka teams. Like I lost a Puka Monreal team, Saquon, I didn't full fade because I did kind of like the matchup, but I did soft fade him. This light is like way too bright. Let's see. Just to see if we like the team. Goff, Herbert. Okay, this is the team that Davis and I drafted together. This team honestly is probably the best one I have. Dude, what if Davis and I won the eliminator together? How fucking crazy would that be? People would be, I don't know what would happen. How would you react if Davis and I won the eliminator together? If this team goes to the end and wins, what would your reaction be? Because there's a lot of idiots in fantasy football. Let's just be honest. Like I posted a tweet here's an example of an idiot in fantasy football. I tweeted out how just like, the fact that James Conner and Trey Benson got hurt is a reminder that like it's okay to take a near 0% drafted RB3 very rarely. Like I'm talking about like twice, like how I took Mike Williams, how I took Zach Moss, right? So yes, you need to hit the parlay of both guys getting hurt. They're most likely 0, like most late round picks, but some chance they're very valuable. And some guys like, oh yeah, just so they have to he got muted, so I can't even read it now. He's like, so they both have to get hurt, like wait a victory lap. It's like, dude, where is the victory lap? I think some people would be tinfoil hat. Other people would be stoked. Anyways, Goff, Herbert, Penix, awesome. CMC, Achane, Harvey, Dobbins, Woody, Marks, Kendre, awesome. JSN, Mike Evans, Jameson, Matthew Golden, Mooney, Rashid Shaheed, Douglas. Okay, so wide receiver is not great right now with no Mike Evans, no Golden, no Mooney. Kincaid and Pitts. So really, it's JSN and JMO need to have a good week, and Shaheed, who gets to play the Giants at least. So it's like, if this team goes on a long run, this was a very important week for it, where like Mike Evans returns soon, Golden and Mooney off the bye, Pitts returns off bye. It does have all the running backs, though. So good team. Hurts and Stroud. This is part of the stream where I drafted 13 teams at once to end before I did my slows. Running back room stinks, though. Pacheco, Jalen Warren on the bye, Joe Mixon, Quinshon Judkins, who was late at least, Jalen Wright, and David Pierce. So it's literally Judkins and Pacheco. It does have awesome wide receivers: Nico Pukaze, Shakir Keenan, Trey Harris, Jalen McMillan, Trey McBride, Bretton Strange, Dalton Schultz. So it's hard to see this team going on a run with this running back room, but you never know if Jalen Warren returns and Judkins magically gets good. Herbert and Trevor, good. This might be one of my better teams too. Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Quinshon Judkins, RJ Harvey. So a good running back room. Tyler Algier and Justice Hill, like flat out good running back room. Here, I'll move myself over here. Jefferson, T, Hunter, Igbuka, Burden, Keon, Wicks, Goddard, Kasicki, Otten. Like this actually might be, other than the team with Davis, this might be my best team. Now it does have T. Hunter's a little disappointing right now, but I think Hunter soon we could be excited about. Let me move myself over here. So the running back room's awesome. It's got some guys on bye. It has late round Igbuka. It's got Jefferson. It's got Keon. So it feels good, this one. This is a 4 quarterback team with only 3 playing. Man, the Tyler Shuck stuff. What were we doing? Is he going to play? Like he has to, right? Penix, Stafford, Darnold, Shuck. This team's pretty good too. G.T., Taylor, Cook, Harvey. Like good running back room. Only 4. RJ Harvey looking like something. Devontae Adams, Jerry Jeudy, Ricky Pearsall. Don't know if he plays. Jarno Mooney, hurt and bye. Rashid Shaheed, Keon, Jalen Tolbert, and Mike Williams. So I drafted this like in May for sure. Loveland and Henry. So it's a solo tight end team right now. What if Mike Williams wins the eliminator? This might be one of my better teams too. Like some of the teams stink. Keeping it real. May, Richardson, and Jones. So it's 2 quarterback, but like 2 good ones, May and Jones. And you never know with Richardson. Might get traded. Might, Jones could get hurt, and it's a backup at least. Achane, Cook, Chuba is hurt. Dobbins, Zach Moss. What if I win with Zach Moss? Again, Moss and Mike Williams, I drafted some in May. Miles Sanders, who also got hurt. I didn't see the Miles Sanders report. Amon-Ra, Metcalf, Juwan Jennings, Diggs, Golden, Shaheed, Mims, Kraft, and Kincaid. So team is pretty good other than Moss. Like it has a bunch of wide receivers that are alive. Jennings might not be. It's got some buys, so it's got to get through this week, but pretty deep roster. We're here. Okay, Baker, Stafford, good. This team's kind of a better one too. Henry, Achane. Now I don't really like Henry, but he's boom bust. Henry, Achane. I drafted more of him in the eliminator in case I was wrong. Achane, Tootin, Ramondre, Tyler Algier, and Justice Hill. I like the Henry Justice Hill combo. Henry, the Ravens are trailing. Boom, Justice Hill game. Algier is a really useful guy right now. He's on bye, of course. Ramondre is pretty useful. Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, George Pickens, Juwan Jennings. This team's got a ton of injuries. Rowan Wilson might be something with Calvin Austin hospitalized. I don't know. Loveland, Kincaid, Otten. So that team's like, you know. I drafted quite a bit of the week 5 bye guys with the mindset that, like, okay, it's going to be harder to get through week 5, but once you do, no more buys for them. And, it's a reminder, like, yes, buys are important for this format, but a ton of guys are out for the year, and we're at week 5 now, and, like, I have 13 teams left, Bo Nix, Penix, Cam Ward, so it's got 2 good quarterbacks and whatever Cam Ward becomes. Saquon, Chase Brown. Obviously, Chase Brown is not feeling good right now, but he is a starter. Cook and Montgomery. So Saquon, Cook are good. Montgomery and Chase Brown, random spikes. Hunter, Waddle, Judy, Mooney, Mims, Shaheed, Wandale, Wicks. Maybe Wandale gets a bump with no Malik. Good tight end room, Ertz, Henry, Juwan. So not the best team, not the worst team. Love and May. I was willing to do 2 quarterback. Henry, Cook, Hampton, Ken Walker, Tootin. So great running back room. Puka, and this is 5th round Hampton. Very valuable. Another like, I drafted early. So it has Amari Cooper, but it also has 17th round Keenan Allen or whatever, 15th round Keenan, and 5th round Hampton. So it's like, I was having this discussion in my Discord, join the link below, and people are like, no, like the zeros are so bad. Like, and my point to you is, like, would you rather have 2 Michael Wilsons, who I think is just like the quintessential, like, just a guy? Would you rather have 2 Michael Wilsons or 1 J.K. Dobbins? I think that answer is clear. Would you rather have 2 Michael Wilsons or, like, 1 Amika Ibuka in the 10th? Would you rather have 2 Michael Wilsons or 1 Keenan Allen? Like, so clearly, you'd rather have the 1 quality player. So quality matters far more than just, like, live bodies, and guys get hurt, Puka, awesome. Olave, Reed, pour one out. Diggs, Trey Harris. I don't know if he'll be anything all year, but we'll see. A lot of time. Tillman, hurt. Keenan, awesome. Cooper, maybe he unretires. Goddard, Gesicki, Higbee. Almost done here. Did I do this one? Yes. I think I'm here. Yes. This team is actually pretty good too on paper. Let's see. Baker, Trevor, Dart. So nice to get Dart. Week 14 bye. Active. Some reinforcements. CMC, Cook, Henderson, Judkins, Keaton Mitchell. At least 4 of them are, like, 2 of them are the best guys in football. Judkins is like a league winner, and I'm assuming this was late round Judkins, seeing as he was drafted after Henderson, but I have no idea. Keaton Mitchell is not anything yet, but could be. Drake London on bye. I kind of actually remember drafting this team in August. I remember going to CMC London. Hunter, Egbuka. So that means it was earlier Egbuka. Juwan Jennings, Keon, Bateman, Diami Brown, Loveland, Otten, Higbee. So a lot of injuries this team is dealing with. Maybe Jennings, Diami Brown, Bateman gets a deduction there. London's on bye. So it's got to be like Travis Hunter and Mika and Keon and whatever Bateman is this week at wideout, plus whatever these 2 guys are at tight end. But, like, basically it's CMC, Cook, Henderson, Judkins, and the quarterbacks. So I like the team, but yeah, probably needs to get Drake London back to be serious. Only 3 left here. This is what's nice. Like, now we have clean sweats, Okay, Caleb, Stafford, Dart. Another team to get Dart reinforcements, if we can get there. This team, though. It's got James Cook, Aaron Jones out for a bit, Jalen Warren on bye / maybe out, and Javonte. So it's a 2 running back team plus whatever Kareem Hunt is. Jefferson, Drake London, Devontae, Terry, who I don't know how hurt he is, Khalil Shakir, Godwin. I don't think Godwin's fully healthy, but he got 10 targets. Trey Harris, Loveland, Ertz. And then 2 more here. Ward, Geno, Jones. This team I kind of like too. particularly the Jones. Because I drafted some Daniel Jones in my slow drafts. I did like 50 slows. Ginty, Achan, Henderson, Jordan Mason, Byshell Tootin. So fun running back room. It's kind of fun that like a Ginty team survived. Marvin, Rice, and this is a second. This is like 4th round Rice, so expensive Rice. But you know, if this team somehow makes it to Rice being back, JMO, Ricky Pearsall, Cleo Shakir, Mika Buka, Trey Harris, K. Dotton, Mason Taylor, Theo. And then this team, it stinks because it's got Joe Burrow. So it's a just Matthew Stafford team. Also has James Conner. Also has Trey Benson, who's on IR now. Like, I was excited for this team, but Trey Benson's on IR. So it's Cook and Ramondre this week. And Tajay Spears soon. Tajay Spears might play this week. I don't know, actually. Puka, Nico, Devontae, Rashid Shaheed, Keenan, Njoku, Auten, Chig. Like, you never know. Maybe this team could go on a run even for the Stafford bye. But yeah, that's not an exciting team. And it's hard to get lower than 25% odds in Patrick's stuff. Maybe I do have multiple teams better than the me and Davis team. I don't know. What was your guys' favorite team I showed, if you remember any? What I like about the Davis team is like the full running back room. And like it's got bodies at wideout once you're off bye, you know? So injuries and buys are going to start taking their tolls in this. Let's look at Patrick's account. I think he tweeted some stuff out. At Diablo _2. So these are the guys with the most advancing teams in the eliminator right now. Again, I have 13 teams. The most in the contest is 29. You know, one standard deviation away is like 17. So not too like big deal. They got 17. I got 13. And then there was some unlucky stuff here. What else did he tweet out? Non-rostered thing is working. Pretty much it. I tweeted out some helpful stuff. What did I tweet out? Oh, I drafted 17 Josh Allen teams. It's not helpful. It's just interesting. Oh, we should look at the top team in the contest right now. Fields and Caleb, Cook, Aaron Jones, Javonte, Judkins, Woody Marks, and Jalen Wright. So Aaron Jones and Jalen Wright. My bags too, dude. Puka, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Zay, Rome, Shakir, Trey Harris, Goddard, Taylor, Arroyo. I have a 5-5-5 team with Puka, Amon-Ra. Here, I'll just pull it up. But I don't know if I have any in BBM, despite me liking both players. Let's see. Puka, Amon-Ra. No. Rip. I don't know if we're dropping Pacheco yet, man. But yeah, Brashard Smith definitely is probably the guy we're going to want. Maybe we are just dropping him. I don't know if, I mean, maybe Tyrone Tracy will, but Dart just doesn't strike me as a dump off guy. But we'll see, like in games they trail. So I think I drafted 11 5-5-5s. Went a little lighter there this year. Wish I didn't, I guess. I don't know. Time just got away from me. I tried to enter more than the contest was filled. So what is that? I don't know. I'm advancing 4 of them. We'll look at them. 4 out of 11. 36%. But again, it's like it's week 4. This was such a high scoring week with injuries. This team suffered some injuries this week. So the quarterback room is Stafford, May, Herbert. Awesome quarterback room. Running back room is Hampton, and this is Hampton in the 5th. Hampton, Achan. People always think I get a haircut. I need a haircut. Hampton Achane, Blake Corum, Tyrone Tracy, Tank Bigsby, Garendo. So really it's Hampton and Achane holding it together, and whatever Blake Corum is, and Tracy eventually, you would think. And then Puka, obviously, probably why this team's advancing, and George Pickens is good, and Diggs. Also used to have Tyreek. That's a tough one. But has Matthew Golden, Godwin reinforcements, and Tillman. So I went like 7. I went Achane, I went Puka, Achane, and then 6 straight wide receivers. So that's why I stopped at only 7. 7 for 20 rounds. But the wide receivers are Puka, Pickens, Diggs, Golden, Godwin, Tillman. Obviously, I liked Tillman. I liked Golden. This was back when Godwin, we thought he was going to play week 1. So stinks to lose Tyreek on a 7 wide receiver team, but is what it is. And then the tight end room is a 4 tight end room. Hunter Henry, Mason Taylor, Harold Fannin, and Tyler Conklin. So obviously would switch Conklin to like, I don't know, a wide receiver. Darius Slayton, if I could. But still a good team. Currently advancing by 50 points, but we'll see. We'll see if it holds on. This team I drafted on stream, and I took Cook at the 2-3 turn in this one. So the draft went Jefferson, Cook, Bucky. We'll just go by position though. Goff, Bryce Young, and Richardson. So not a great quarterback room. Cook, Bucky, Chuba, Harvey, and Jalen Wright. So a good running back room despite Jalen Wright being there. Again, I think Chuba's going to miss some time, and Bucky's going to miss some time. But it's got Cook at least. It's got Harvey. Wide receiver is a little thin. Jefferson, Shakir, Adonai Mitchell. Thanks Adonai for that non-touchdown. Jameson Williams, Josh Palmer, Wan'Dale Robinson, who gets a boost. Ayuk, who should be back eventually. Man, the Trey Harris stuff is killer. Trey Harris and Diami Brown, who, I think Diami's a good selection too. He's just missing time. And then Mark Andrews, who I did not draft a lot of anywhere. Dalton Kincaid, but he fell a lot in this draft. Dalton Kincaid and Tyler Higbee. Decent team. It's barely advancing. I don't know if this one holds on. It does have the Vikings Detroit stack though. This is one of my better teams for sure. It's dealing with a lot of injuries right now, though. Quarterbacks are Dak and Hurts. So 2 quarterbacks, but 2 good ones. Running backs are Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. Awesome. Trey Benson. So I was excited. Now he's on IR. I barely drafted him, though, so it was nice to have a hedge. Braylon Allen, also on IR. So lost Benson and Allen this week. And this was very cheap Braylon Allen. Jaylen Warren, who also missed some time, and Will Shipley, who also got hurt, but at least is back. So it kind of has the strength to carry those guys, but not great. Shakir Olave, Kavonte Turpin, who also seems banged up. Jalen Tolbert got taken in this draft ahead of me, which was rare. So I settled for Turpin, who I kind of like too. Devonta Smith, Dontavian Wicks, who's on by, Jalen Noel, who is a huge disappointment. And I did not draft a lot and didn't really like that much, but I think I panicked at wideout. And then CeeDee Lamb and Ayuk and Jack Beck, man. Another guy I didn't love, but I have randomly in the 5-5-5. So great team that's just suffering through a lot of injuries. Needs Lamb back, needs Ayuk back. It can carry the other guys. It is advancing a little bit. And then this team is great everywhere except running back. So it's got Goff and Jaden Daniels. So nice that Jaden Daniels is going to play this week. Travion Henderson, Zach Charbonnet, Jaylen Warren. It lost Najee for the year. Brashard Smith is trending up. Tajay Spears is going to play soon. Garendo is out. So it's a 7 running back team. Wide receivers are awesome, though. Puka and Amon-Ra. That's why it's advancing. DK Metcalf also looking like a win. Elikai Minor has been a very solid selection. Ricky Pearsall has been a good selection, but I think is banged up right now. Trey Tucker has been a great selection. And then Trey Harris and Isaac Tesla are not great selections, but I do think they'll have some spike weeks. And tight end room is Goddard, solid, Ferguson, awesome, and Colston Loveland, future pick. So this team's actually pretty good. It's got to get Jalen Warren back, and it needs Spears or Smith to be something. But if it does, like, it has everything, I think. It's got quarterbacks, it's got tight ends, it's got wideouts. But yeah, it's just a reminder that, like, you know, that team I showed you before, you feeling great? Boom, Trey Benson out. Boom. You know, if Jalen Warren is out, like a lot of my teams are suffering. So injuries can take a team at any time. We'll look at my big dog teams. A lot of teams in the hunt there, but with it being such a high scoring week, I think I'm only advancing one right now. But, like, you know, like I'm advancing 4 in the 5-5-5. I don't know if that will hold on for me. I'd be thrilled, but I'm not sure about that. And in the big dog, I think I'm going to gain some teams. So let's see. Actually, I'm advancing. Yeah, I'm advancing 1 right now. I'm advancing 1 and several that are close. So we'll look at the one that's advancing. Advancing by a lot. Looks like it was drafted on August 23rd. Caleb, Gino, and Dart. So nice to get the Dart reinforcements. Nice to advance the Gene T team. Gene T, Cook. Cook is Y. Ramondre, Tank Bigsby, Garendo, Brian Robinson. So 3 guys who are not anything right now and might not be anything, but you never know. Obviously, if CMC gets hurt, all of a sudden Garendo and Brian Robinson are feeling great, right? I don't even know if a Saquon injury, if you feel great about Tank, but maybe. I think we just got the Tank drafters, which I drafted some. I think we just got very unlucky he landed on the Eagles. Puka, okay. So yeah, Puka's why it's advancing. Marvin, fine. Hunter, I'm excited for the future there. Rome Odunze is also why it's advancing. So nice to have Caleb and Rome, because I don't have a ton in Best Ball Mania. And that's what I do. I hedge my bags a little bit with the high stakes. Shakir and Keon, I like as just like spike week guys. Trey Tucker with Gino and Ginty is a fun stack. Loveland Ertz. So it's got the Rome, Loveland, Caleb stack. Again, I think Loveland, you know, you give this a month, we might be super excited. Or maybe he won't play again. Let's see. This team is barely not advancing. Baker, Goff, Cook, Mason, Tracy, Ramondre, Toot, and Shipley. So definitely a thinner running back room, but room to improve there with like Tootin, Tracy, Shipley. Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas. So Brian Thomas team in the hunt. Mike Evans, Zay, Ricky Pearsall, Trey Harris, Douglas, Jono, Theo, AJ Barner. You know, I've got to be the only one with AJ Barner in the big dog. Does he have big dog exposures? Exposures. The big dog. Let's find out. I don't know. We got to go combos, I think. No, he's not. He doesn't have it. That's a bummer. I could just assure that, like, I'm probably the only AJ Barner drafter. Let's see. This team is out by 20. Like, that's very close. Herbert, Penix, Darnold, Kyron Cook, Tracy Algier, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is trending down. Nico London, Waddle. Waddle's trending up. Olave, Ayuk, eventually Cup. Man, Cup didn't even hit the lineup that 1 week. Keenan, Tutu. Shout out Tutu. I have like 2 or 3 Tutu teams and 4 Trey Tucker teams. So we're running pure on our darts. Tutu and Trey Tucker. Laporta and Pitts. Laporta's been a huge bummer. This team, it's in 6th, but it's 30 points out from advancing. So a ton of teams that are close in these. Hurts, Fields, Gino, Saquon Cook, Tootin, Braylon Allen, Miles Sanders. Hunter, Godwin back is big for this team. Shakir, Kirk, Tillman Hurt, Tucker, Trey Tucker, and Tutu. That's running pure. Bowers and Goddard. Bowers, man. I think Bowers is just hurt. This team is out by like 50. I don't want to look at all these, but this team is out by 40. Like, yeah, this team's in 10th, guys. It's out by 40. It could definitely catch up. This team is out by... This is just the high-scoring pod. And this team is dead. Probably. Okay, never mind. Wait, 5 total? How'd you find that out? Or 5 for you? I disagree with your take on not drafting risers, Liam, especially with someone as tapped in as you are. In my opinion, you can draft those guys. You just have to think through combos the early teams couldn't access. No, I agree. Like, maybe I am a little stubborn with it. When I don't never take them. Like, I did take some Keenan late, especially when I think they're going to rise more. And yeah, you want to be tasteful when you do it. Like, try to take whatever, a guy that was like, take a falling Quinshon Judkins there. Leaderboard on site. So how do we do it? Leaderboard. Oh, you just type in AJ Barner. Duh. The big dog. Barner. Me. Pepper Prince, who is Dan Zach, by the way. And I'm going to guess he maxed. He's a wealthy guy. Much wealthier than me. 44 teams. Anyone know what the max was there? I don't know if it was the max. He's doing well this year, though, right now. Yeah, you can just check me. This is an easier way to look at it. Wow, I have the 16th highest scoring big dog team. 565. That's probably better than my best ball mania team. No, just barely it's not. That's hilarious, though. All right, guys. We got, going to end this soon, but let me know any players you want me to talk about. Any players, any questions, hit me with them. Let me know right now. We're not doing this question. We're not grinding week 5 to 9 schedule, Chris. We'll do other schedules, but not that. I know, man. I have my friend's a Saints fan, and I was like, do you think he'll play this year? And he was like, he has a great work ethic, so maybe. And I was just like, no, he got hurt so late. There's no way. We're not talking about Taysom Hill, but he's a smash, though, if he is healthy. Although, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see what he is in the Kellen Moore's offense. Brian Thomas Jr., I think him, Ladd, there's better days ahead, Chris. Like, Trevor Lawrence threw 450 passing yards. Let's just look at the Jags schedule. I think they can be a playoff team. So, Chiefs, they're a hard team to run on. So, maybe this is a Trevor 300-yard game. Seahawks, that's a tough defense. Okay, these are some tough defenses. I'm not going to lie to you. Chiefs, Seahawks, Rams, Raiders. Things are getting easier. Texans is a tough defense. Chargers, life is getting easier. They have a bad front 7 right now. Cardinals, life is getting easier. Titans, but it's like kind of a blowout script. Colts, this could be a shootout. And then the playoffs are Jets, who are overrated. Broncos, tough defense. Colts. So, okay, they have a tough schedule. I'm not going to lie to you. Bowers, I think it's the knee brace, man. I don't know when/if he'll be healthy. I think the Bowers drafters should be happy that he's playing at all, in my opinion. No, I'm not grinding the week 7 to 13 schedule right now. I do not check the Checkers Liam advance rate. Do you want me to? There's also this account called it's called like Soccer Liam X. It's like a Checkers Liam sat out Best Ball Mania this year. Maybe he's moved on to greener pastures. So, one-hit wonder, Checkers Liam. Life for Demarcus Robinson? Yeah, I guess, man. Keaton Mitchell. I still think Keaton Mitchell will be something this year. But obviously, it's not going to be good with no Lamar, and it's not right now. Life for Demarcus Robinson? Yeah, man, I don't know. I have no idea, Chris. That seems optimistic to me, though. One more week of Bowers knee brace. Why is this the week he'd be active? Maybe I guess without Lamar, like they want to ground and pound it. My guess is that like without Lamar, you just lean on Derrick Henry. Jamar Chase is another one where I just think it's been a stretch of tough defenses. No, I don't think Jamar's finished, but like it is one of the worst teams right now. Yeah, I was drafted Kendre Miller throughout the year. Like Marshawn Lloyd is another guy who I think will return and be good. Lions, you can pass on the Lions. Packers, tough defense. Steelers, you can pass on. Jets, you can pass on. Bears, you can pass on. Steelers, you can pass on. Pats, you can pass on. Ravens, you can pass on. Bills, you typically run on more. Ravens, you can pass on. Dolphins, you can pass on. So it's a good schedule for the Bengals. My wide receiver exposure to what? On a specific team or in general? No, I don't watch other people's sweat streams. Scotty Miller. No, I would not do that, but Disbanded wants to. Can you look at your exposures by positions? I don't think you can. I feel fine about it, but okay, Gabe. Good for you. Want your little time in the sun? You got it, Gabe. You made it to the stream. Honestly, again, with all the injuries I have, I feel pretty good about 28 teams right now. More teams than I've advanced any year. Loveland, yeah, I'm excited for Loveland to return. But again, I like the injury stuff. I don't know how severe it is. My guess is it's not that severe because they have a bye, but you never know. Like that could just be hope. Okay, folks, like, subscribe, join the Discord. The link is below. Beatbestball.com. I will have Battle Royale ranks on the site Friday. Obviously, not going to do it on my birthday. Peace out. Not going to stream tomorrow for my birthday.